they're on to me, dude. Those guys are sharp as nails up there. You can't put anything past them. Oh my God, dude, I'm freaking out. I am so stressed out. I feel like I'm having a panic attack.
You want to talk about stress? You want to talk about stress? Okay? I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac. How about that for stress?
What the hell are you talking about?
This company is being bled like a stuffed pig, Mac, and I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out. Take a look at this.
Jesus Christ,
That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay? Pepe Sylvia. This name keeps coming up over and over again. Every day, Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail. Well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia. So I say to myself, I gotta find this guy. I gotta go up to his office. I gotta put his mail in the guy's goddamn hands. Otherwise, he's never gonna get it. He's gonna keep coming back down here. So I go up to Pepe's office, and what do I find out, Mac? What do I find out? There is no Pepe Sylvia. The man does not exist, okay? So I decided, oh, shit, buddy, I gotta dig a little deeper. There's no Pepe Sylvia. You gotta be kidding me. I got boxes full of Pepe.
What Charlie has created in this scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, we call a node-link graph. This is different from the kinds of bar graphs that you may have learned about in your primary education. Node-link graphs are also called networks, and these forms of data visualization are very, very important for representing different kinds of linked open data. But what is a node-linked graph? What are its properties? In this video, we're going to briefly go over this kind of visualization, how to recognize node-linked graphs, and how to use them in your daily work. Graphs consist of two elements, nodes, or vertices, and edges. Nodes are points in a graph, and edges are links which connect them. These can signify different things depending on the data you're trying to represent. Graphs can also be directed or undirected. A directed graph means that the edges are arrows and they point only in one direction, or they can be bidirectional. An undirected graph simply links together nodes. In this visualization, we can see a directed graph where both the nodes and the edges have weights. The weights in this graph visualization are represented by the numbers. Sometimes we represent the weight of a node by increasing its size. This can be an elegant way to convey that information using the visual language of data visualization. Here is an example of how a graph visualization is used in practice. This comes from the database website Neo4j, which is a common application used to create knowledge graphs in industry today, although information professionals may prefer other, more sophisticated versions which use RDF. When looking at this Neo4j visualization, we can see several things. On the top is a schema of organizing principles that describe the kinds of objects that we will be categorizing. On the bottom we have instance data, or specific objects that we are categorizing. Instance data usually would correspond to the rows in your spreadsheet and the organizing principles to the columns. In this visualization, we see we have a product that is an apple, and it's listed as a type of fruit, a type of snack, and a type of fresh food. On the other hand, we have another product that is salmon, that is only a type of fresh food and a type of fish. But all of the four types are all part of the category of foodstuffs. In this way, we can use nodes to represent subjects and edges to represent their properties. Long ago, in the times of deep prehistory, before social media lent horrific connotations to the term social network analysis, a team of researchers associated with the W3C consortium produced an ontology called FOF, or Friend of a Friend. This ontology allowed a categorization of ways in which your friends are related using a graph. Here we see a visualization of researchers at the University of Stuttgart in Germany, who are members of an Institute for Intelligent Systems. We can see nodes represented here as images, pictures of the researchers, and the edges are directed edges that represent who knows whom and who is a member of what organization. This famous interactive graph visualization is called the Linked Open Data Cloud, and it is located at lodcloud.net, although there is a hyphen between LOD and cloud. The Linked Open Data Cloud represents all of the linked open data sets that have been publicly pushed to the web and reported on the cloud. It shows data sets as nodes, and it shows links between data sets as edges, where a link is when one data set uses another data set's vocabulary, or a directed edge in a graph. As we saw in the first video, graph visualizations can also be interactive, allowing users to click and drag, tap nodes for more information, and to transform the relationships that the graph displays. Often, graphs of very large amounts of information are difficult for users to interpret, but they can help users gain a holistic understanding of the information which the graph represents, noting patterns and connections across entities and data sets. This chart from the organization Neo4j shows common graph visualization tools that you can use for your data. I would also recommend the tool GraphViz, which is an easy-to-use open-source tool for visualizing knowledge graphs, and the d3.js JavaScript data visualization library. d3.js was invented by Mike Bostock at the Information School at University of Washington, and it has a dedicated environment called Observable, which can be used to learn the data visualization notebook, making it incredibly easy and accessible for first-time learners who want to learn data visualization. This has been an introduction to graph-based visualizations. The easiest way to create a graph-based visualization is simply to draw a mind map, an activity which many of you will have been doing for several years. Every time you draw a mind map, you are in fact making a visualization of a knowledge graph. While in this video we have gone over several tools that can be used to represent this kind of data, you can also do it easily with pen and paper. The important thing to keep in mind when choosing a graph-based visualization is what kind of information do you want to visualize, and why is a graph the correct way to represent it. For information that is contained in many documents or across multiple linked spreadsheets, it can be very, very useful to have a graph visualization that can show you how that information is interconnected and how the wider domain fits with the entities that you are trying to describe. And on that note, now that we are familiar with knowledge graphs and graph-based visualizations, let's return to see how our friend Charlie is doing in his search for the conspiracy in his workplace.
All right, so I start marching my way down to Carol in HR, and I knock on her door and I say, Carol! Carol, I gotta talk to you about Pepe. And when I open the door, what do I find? There's not a single goddamn desk in that office. There is no Carol in HR. Mac, half the employees in this building have been made up. This office is a goddamn ghost town.
Okay, Charlie, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Not only do all of these people exist, but they have been asking for their mail on a daily basis. It's all they're talking about up there. Jesus Christ, dude, we are gonna lose our jobs.
Well, calm down, because here's one thing that's not gonna happen.
What?
We're not gonna get fired.
We're not.
Because we've already been fired.
We've lost our jobs?
Yeah. About 3 days ago, a couple pink slips came in the mail. One for you, one for me. So what did I do? I mailed them halfway to Siberia, okay?
If we've lost our jobs, that means we've lost our health insurance, which means all of this was for nothing. God damn it, dude, I'm having a panic attack. I'm actually having a panic
Will you
attack.
settle down and have another cup of coffee?
I am, bro.
All right, well, fine. You know what, Barney? Give this guy a cigarette. He's freaking out.
Huh? Who?
Barney. He's the guy who tipped me off to Pepe Sylvia.
Barney? Who the hell is Barney?
You don't see Oh, shit. What the hell did he...
You've lost your mind. You've lost your goddamn mind, Charlie.